Hey, what's up, people? It's me again. It's your boy. It's TeaRon. That's TeaRon, period. And you are tuned in to another episode of the Ubiquitous Blacks podcast. And as you know, over the past few episodes, we've been bringing pretty interesting guests on, I would say. I'd say they're interesting because I'm interested. And today, we're going to keep that train moving because I have one of the most beautiful, most talented, most... Honestly, I don't know why everybody doesn't already know her. Like, silly to me. Silly. People are so silly. But here we are today, and you do get a chance to know this amazing, beautiful woman today. Versie, introduce yourself. Tell the people. Tell them who you are.
What's up, y'all? My name is Versie Jean. Thank you so much, TeaRon, for having me.
No problem. No problem. So, Versie, tell the people where you're from, because
I can't.
Because you're from where nobody else is from.
Oh, and then, my God.
Tell them a little bit about what you do too.
Yes. So I am originally from Portland, Oregon, born and raised, and I'm a local singer-songwriter here. I am a neo-soul artist. I've been doing neo-soul, and yeah.
And see, I told you, like, nobody is gonna know. Well, I guess you probably have Black family at Oregon, don't you?
I do. I cannot, TeaRon. Yes, I have. There's a lot of Black people here, especially in Northeast Portland. Well, actually, okay, gentrification. Okay, so they're actually out in the boonies now, but there's quite a few Black people here.
See, that ain't what I heard. That ain't what the streets say.
What the streets say? What the streets say?
The streets said that there's some situations up there in Portland, and they said that the people, basically, they said a lot of people who traditionally do white hooded things eventually migrated to Portland for whatever reason, and that's where they be like residing and stuff. Oh. But I mean, I could be wrong. I'll just tell you what I heard.
Oh my God. I feel like it's no worse than it is anywhere else.
well, you know where I am.
I cannot.
You know where I am, so I ain't want to talk. But that being said, I mean, well, what was it like growing up in Portland? Have you ever lived anywhere else?
I lived in Tennessee for school. I went to Lee University. And that, okay, so, talk about crazy or, crazy experiences in the South. I feel like that was, man, I don't even want to say that, but that was more of where I experienced race issues in school in Tennessee. But otherwise than that, I've been in Oregon.
See, if this was back in the day, though, because, this is an audio medium, so people can't see us, but they'll look you up and they'll see you. And if this was back in the day, you'd basically be passing.
What does that mean?
Because you light bright. So
I really cannot.
I'm just like, well, no. What part of Tennessee did you go to school? Where's Lee?
Lee is in Cleveland, Tennessee. So it's a small town. Yeah. But it's like 30 minutes away from Chattanooga.
Okay. So how did you end up going to school there? Did you go to school? Did you go for music?
I went for business management, but music had always been my passion. So, honestly, I wanted to get out of Portland. So it was just always, I made it my business to, just make sure, like, let me go out and, get that full college experience, go somewhere else. That was my mindset at the time. And, I had my older sister there as well. She lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So it was just like, a nice way to just get out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that makes it a whole lot easier to like make a decision on where you want to go. It's when you got family somewhere, you'd be like, okay, this will
Right.
be the best move for me.
Right. Yes, I appreciate my sister because I mean the free laundry and the food on the weekends. When you're a college
Shout out
student,
to your sister.
shout out big sis, okay? Because when you're a student, man, I
Exactly.
remember waking up a few nights parched. Like I ain't got no juice. Like what's happening?
Sister held it down. I get it. But before you know it, I mean, like, because I know you try to get out of Portland that way, but before you know it, you're gonna be everywhere. Because
Day.
I mean, if this damn COVID leaves us alone,
Okay.
then because I for one, I definitely am missing the road. I'm missing being able to move around as much as I have been.
Yes.
But that's gonna be the thing for you. Don't you know that?
Hey, I receive it. I really do. I was just saying the other day, yeah, COVID is stopping the grind, but it's also really I look at it as an opportunity and almost like don't get me for this, but almost like a blessing, especially for me during this
You're the
time.
only person.
I know, TeaRon, I know. But the reason why I say that is because, during this time, I've been able to like really just connect to God during this time, connect to myself during this time. And I feel like we're not going to get a time like this again where, the world stops, and so I feel like this is an awesome opportunity to really connect to yourself and figure out like, what is your why? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Where do you want to go? To really refocus and, figure out where it is you want to, you want to be.
Yeah. And you're right. It definitely gives you that dial back moment where it's like, okay, let me pump the brakes, figure out the direction or change course, because this would be the time to do that.
Right.
Everything was going a million miles a minute and it came to a screeching halt. And you got to know how to work with that, and everybody that was doing their thing before, everybody ain't going to pick up steam the same way like they were after the fact. So this is also a chance where you're going to see
Why do you say that?
Why do I say that? Because it's true. Because it's like, okay, it's easy to ride a wave, right? But let me think of a cool way to say this. But if the tide stops rolling,
I can't.
If the tide stops rolling in, or I don't know I was gonna try to say something really cool, but you get where I'm going with this. But no, so it's like, if you were riding, someone's coattails, or you were just on a train that was already in progress, if it comes to a stop, you don't really know what to do, and it's only going to be so many people that know how to get onto the next train or where they are or where they stopped, so they can kind of like pick up where they left off, because everybody wasn't expecting this. And there's you got to have a backup plan for the backup plan for the backup plan, right?
Come on.
And that ain't everybody's thing. People just kind of go with the flow, or they're in the now, or they were caught up in the whatever was going on at the time. And Rona said, "Hey, I got something for you."
Okay. Oh, I was going to say, I think that's why it's so important to, even during this time to stay busy, even, and I know that might sound crazy, like stay busy, houseway, but like to literally, like all I can do is speak for myself right now. I'm doing my best to complete songs. I'm doing my best to, practice, do vocal lessons, take piano, teach myself, as well as working with teachers and coaches virtually, to stay busy if that's what you if that's what you're feeling led to do. I
Right.
also don't want to try to tell people this is what you should be doing because, this COVID-19 has had an effect mentally on, all of us, and
Yo,
everybody, deals with that differently.
yo, don't even get me started about the mental effects because I know I myself, because in the midst of all this, I definitely had to go and find like a regular ass little job, which I
It be
don't
like
like.
that.
But when you're on a roll like that, and see, this is the thing. A lot of people, um, they don't want to go this far. They don't want to really talk about the things that have changed because they're still trying to put that perception is reality situation. But this is happening to all of us, so there's no reason to really front in that way. But I definitely had to go and get a little day job to sustain because everything came to a halt, and I was like, yo, I got to stay afloat. So now it's just a matter of being a creative. You got to get that out. You can't keep that
Come
in
on.
because you'll go insane. And so that's where I had been working on, like, for example, like this podcast. I've actually been working on you know bringing this thing to life since like 2018, and
Wow.
I finally had the time to do it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
And so I was like, yo, I might as well come up with another avenue or come up with another thing to stay sane, to keep afloat, or like you said, to keep the practice up, to stay sharp,
Come
to stay
on.
on ready. And it's so easy to get in these situations and get off track or lose your focus or feel depressed or not really want that, want to get up and do anything. It's because they're so uncertain. You don't know when that end point is, so it's hard to gauge. But you gotta keep it going. You gotta stay focused because when everybody's at the starting gate and that the gun goes off,
Come on.
it's time to kick into gear. And like I
It's
said,
time.
a lot of people ain't gonna keep their conditioning up. It's like you see like these NBA players and stuff where they all were like off for a long time and nobody was going to camp and all that stuff. And then
Right.
they had a situation where some states had different laws than the others. So they were trying to open up um camps and stuff for certain states that had more lax laws. But then the people in other states or on other teams were like, well, that's not the case here. So they felt like the other places were going to have more conditioning or better practice than them. So there was no way for them to catch up. Which is, I mean, honestly, I get the concept, but it's like, well, damn, we can't do that here, but you all are doing that. You are going back to work, so to speak, but we can't do it, which is bullshit because they be making plenty of money, and most of those people got gyms in their house. But anyway,
Right. Right.
but the overall concept makes sense to me. Is that you have to keep that condition up. You have to stay at it, even in the midst of this, because at some point it is gonna get back on track, and that's when Versie, you're gonna be traveling everywhere and singing everywhere.
Hey, I receive it. Okay. I already told you, if Macy needs an opener, I'm here for it. Okay.
I'm
I
just saying.
I believe it, okay? And I believe in speaking the life you want into existence, really, just really calling those things that are not as if they were, I really believe in that. And I think even during this time, I have just been encouraged to continue to speak life,
Mhm.
into my situation, and I encourage everyone else to speak life, even though right now, due to COVID, all I see right now is my four walls, but I'm
Right.
believing I'm just believing that one day it's gonna turn around, and that I will be able to travel and do my music, and
Right.
yeah.
It's gonna have to. It's gonna at some point it's gonna have to give, and you just got to be prepared for that. Let me ask you. Speaking of speaking things into existence, how do you feel about like vision boards?
Yeah, funny thing. So just last week, I created a vision board. Um,
Really?
yeah, I just actually just
You have it with you?
I do.
You have to describe it to us so we can kind of see.
100%.
Are you, when you do a vision board, do you like you just find like you cut stuff out of magazines and stuff like that, or do you
Yeah,
find like items?
yeah. I pretty much cut things out of magazines, or I'll Google things that, I want to be on the vision board. I'll take words that mean something to me and go ahead and like post it on there as well. I actually put up a video of me like creating the vision board,
Yes.
and it's on my page, Versie Jean _ But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, that's, normally what I do. But what I'm realizing as well as a believer, being a believer affects my life just so much in just every area of my life. So for me, it's like I have this vision board. I have these things that I want to do, and that's been in my heart for some time now, but ultimately as a believer, I just want to make sure, like, I guess at the end of the day, it's about what God wants to do through me,
So what's on your vision board?
On my vision board, I have 4 houses up. And then also connecting the houses to each other is a street. It's streets on each corner, just pretty much symbolizing that I want to own multiple homes.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, no.
I get Shando. Okay. I have
what kind of homes are they like? What are the homes? Are they modest?
Well, I mean, you know
Because
what I'm saying.
Because when you speaking on stuff, you got to be very specific.
You better say that, TeaRon.
Because
Well,
you could have 4 shacks. I mean, which is more than some people have. But I want to know what kind of.
Yeah, what kind of homes? Yeah,
what kind of homes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So one of the homes is like a farm style home.
Hey.
Right. Like, so I love. I just really love farm style homes. I love just the idea of having a lot of land, and even though I probably wouldn't want to be the one taking care of like horses and stuff, but like to have a horse, as well. So that's one of the homes. The other home, I always talk to my siblings about this, but I have about 5 siblings, and I always thought it would be so dope one day to share a home together. Like, you see those pictures on Instagram, like, those pictures on Instagram that says, live here, but give up the internet for a year. Would you do it? Like,
right. Like, duh.
Right. I mean, of course, right? So I feel like it'd be dope to, have like, that just be an idea one day to, have something like that with my siblings, where it's like, you get the West Wing, I got the East Wing, like really dope, almost like Greenleaf style. If you watch Greenleaf.
Yeah. So yeah, but like having a wing is a whole thing. Like that's the move for me. What else do you have on your vision board other than the 4 homes?
So I have a cross on there. And that's just like, and it's kind of, the cross is overshadowing a picture. Like, it's on top of the picture of Taylor Swift singing to an audience. And that symbolizes to me that ultimately it's not about the stage. It's not about the platform, but it's about like what you do with that, what you do with that platform. And ultimately, whatever platform whatever platform God blesses me with, I want to make sure that everything I do is for His glory.
Right. I feel that. I feel that. And then we'll do one more thing on the vision board. What's something that people wouldn't expect probably you to have that's on the vision board?
Hmm. Well, uh, I'm trying to think of something interesting.
Or if something's on there that's like, well, what does this even mean? Like it's
um,
not so obvious. Do you have anything like that?
let me see. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that one day I would like to have a jean jacket line. My stage name is Versie Jean, and that's actually my middle name. And just from the jean, like maybe call it jeans jackets or whatever, you know. But I thought it would be really dope to have
I
a
see
jean
what you did
jacket
there.
line. Right.
I I used to I used to think I was gonna have like a line of like flavored teas.
Favorite. Okay, well, come on. What happened? Like what? Like why didn't you continue with it?
Because it was like one of those like middle school age thoughts where I didn't really think it all the way through, but I just thought like, I have this name, and I'm just like, what could I play off of with that? But it never stuck. In fact, speaking of, like, I think that the last time I actually made a vision board was when I was in school, and I don't remember. I think I was in maybe like 10th grade or something like that, and they had us do it as a part of like career, that kind of stuff. But I don't remember everything that was on it, but I do remember when Tyler Perry was kind of like starting to roll into like doing films and stuff pretty regularly and
Right.
transitioning from stage. So I remember there was an interview with him. So I had a picture where he had like a director's chair, and there was like a photo shoot. So I had a picture of that. And then I know there was a picture. I think there was like Raven Simone, and I think she was probably like 30 under 30 or something like that. And I think there was a picture of like Pharrell Williams. So it's just like a bunch of people that I really just admired at the time being in school. But it was all people who I felt like were, taking great strides or really like hustling and doing things that I um, could see myself doing. And
Right.
so far, the degrees of separation between me and those people that I put on that board has gotten quite small. Let me say that.
Come on. That's what
And
I'm talking about.
I'm just saying. But I need to make a new one. I think I could make a new one right now. I think I'm
What?
gonna. Let me see. Okay, so if I was to make a vision board right now, I would put a new computer on there because I need a new like desktop form computer. I have like my computer that I work with now, but the screen's not big enough to do what I want to do, and I kind of like create these little animated videos and like edit a lot and
That's
stuff these
so
days.
dope.
So I need a new computer.
And we need to connect, by the way, on that.
We do, and we do. And a new computer. Um, let's see what else. Um, I need a picture of like a wad of cash so that my bills can be paid.
Come on. Okay.
Oh, because it's soon it'll be like fall season and stuff, right? So
Hmm.
like I don't know what these things are called, but they're always in like fall decorating magazines for like Thanksgiving, and it's like a little basket, but it's like weaved like a little horn, and there's like food in it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
need that. I need a picture of that because I need food aplenty because I
Come
like to cook and I like to
come
eat, but
on.
also I want my body to be nourished. So I'm gonna put food on my vision board every single time. And then what else? Definitely I'll put like since you put 4 homes, I'll put 8. And then
Come on. Come on. Speak it into existence.
and that's my bit. You know what else I'm gonna put on my vision board?
What you gonna put on there?
I'm gonna put images of scenes from like Black Panther. I'm gonna put that in there.
Yes, and
Yeah,
why?
because like I don't know because I eventually like I enjoy creating things and I enjoy directing. So I'm so like envious of Ryan Coogler for one, and then two, it was just like such a like pivotal film in terms of what it stood for and what it did, even though it's just like a superhero, film or whatever, right? But it was so much more than that. And it became such a movement. And then in light of the passing of Chadwick Boseman and, the impact of that, I think it would be befitting to put that on my vision board for sure.
Amen.
Because I that legacy, you gotta be able to want to match that, or at least get close to, doing something like that, because that was wild. What do you think about the passing of Chadwick Boseman, but also like really the legacy that he left? Because when you look at his career, I think for an actor, there's a few people whose careers start out later. And I think in terms of that, he's one of them. Somebody like Taraji P. Henson, her career started a little later. But look at the roles that these people kind of go for. Because I think when you're older and you're in an industry like that and you're going for things, you can be very specific about what it is you want to put. What do you think about the legacy overall?
Yeah, and to your point about being older and like, really breaking through with, your career, I think that's so encouraging. Like when I see Chadwick Boseman, Taraji P. Henson, and they, especially Taraji P. Henson, when she talked about, really getting into her career later on in life, it was, very, very encouraging. And I'm sure it was encouraging to a lot of, other people as well, just to know that at the end of the day, like it's not too late. Even speaking of Black Panther, the lady is not like big or huge, but it still was a huge accomplishment. But one of the old ladies in Black Panther.
Oh yeah, you mean she was one of the tribe leaders, right?
Wait,
or she was like one of the tribe leaders, or she was one of the elders. But you know what? Because she's only in a few scenes, but she stands out so much.
Yes.
Like I don't know, her presence in that film was so necessary.
Absolutely. It's like, I guess Queen Mother's Angela Bassett's role, but I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like it was definitely necessary. And all of that was encouraging to see, because I feel like it just tells us all, like, it's never too late to go for all that's in your heart to do. Really, like Nike's slogan says, just do it,
Yo, that's like the realest slogan, I swear.
Right? I feel like it applies to everything in life. Just do it. Well, not everything, but
I remember there was a time where I was like listening to an interview that Chadwick did. I want to say it's probably like more than like 5 years or so ago, but he was they were asking him about all the roles he had done previous to Black Panther. And he did like Jackie Robinson, he did James Brown, and he did all these roles that were like time periods, but he was like retelling the stories of like these great people, and basically people who were heroes of their time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Only for him to like transition into being this hero number one in terms of like sci-fi, but hero in terms of just like his overall life. I think that is so ironic, because he was like talking about how he wanted to, go out and do other films, because he kept getting all these parts where he was just like playing, other famous people or retelling their stories. But I think it all like lined up you don't get this all the time in a lifetime. Every now and then someone comes along and things just line up so perfectly. And that's like one person, like in terms of like, in terms of being like a public figure, that's one person you can't really find anything bad to say about him, unless you're just being extra. You got to be real petty to find anything bad to say about somebody like that. He was such a fucking dope ass role model, I think.
Yes.
And you don't get that with a lot of people. A lot of people be like, yeah, but remember that time? I can't, can you?
Right. People love to focus on the negative, but 100% Chadwick Boseman, LeBron James, like they're like there's just certain people where you can't like there's nothing bad like I can find about them or that I could say
Right.
about them. And even speaking of Chadwick Boseman, like, man, I'm just like I'm so cut up like about his death. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like him and Kobe Bryant's death really
2020.
right 2020, man, like, but it really shook me like legit. I don't think I've ever cried for or teared up about someone I didn't know, but for both of them, like it really shook me, and I was like just like super upset about it. But now, a week later, all I can do is just have gratitude, you know,
Exactly.
to the both of them for sharing their gifts with us. And just to see, like, especially Chadwick Boseman, to really see him fight past this disease and produce so much amazing work during that time, in spite of what he was going through, is very, very encouraging to me to just continue forward in my life with those same, with that same strength, you know. I pray I never, God forbid I ever have to deal with cancer, because that's a beast on its own.
Fuck cancer. I'm
Right?
sorry.
It's true though. But it's so encouraging to see, like, in spite of what's going on around you or even inside you, that you can continue to push forward, and things don't have to be like, oh, what's that picture of peace?
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture on the internet of peace, and there's a dove right in the middle of all this chaos. And it's like, normally our picture of peace would be, oh, the sun is shining, I'm sitting in green pastures,
Right.
like, this is my vision of peace. But I think it's really dope to be, even though it's hard and it's real life, but to be like the dove in the middle of chaos. And I think we can reflect this back to COVID. We got all this stuff going on around us, but like we can still operate in our purpose like Chadwick Boseman did.
Right.
Still operate in our purpose, still give what we got to the world, because that's really what it's about. Like, if you have a platform, it's to make an impact, like,
Right.
it's to make an impact for the glory of God, period.
Right. You know what? Speaking of like having a platform, I hear too often, and this is something that ties in kind of, because I just kind of wanted to get this off my chest and you made it pop into my head. You have a lot of people right now who get a platform and they're using this narrative of I don't, it's basically falls along the lines of like, I don't care what people think or whatever, but you can't be in a career field that requires you to get the applause of people and not care what people think. Number one. Number two, you have a lot of people right now. You may have seen this, and I don't even have to name who they are, but you may have seen this where they come out and they say, I don't have to be a role model. I'm just doing what I do. And if you're a parent of a child, you need to be monitoring what they consume and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, that is the most bullshitted ass shit I ever fucking shitted ass heard. Because you have to, at some point, you have to say, wait, no, people are looking up to me. I do have a responsibility to be a better person, or I do need to be upholding myself to a different standard. You can't just walk around all the time and be like, you know, I'm gonna just, if something comes up or if I have an issue or if somebody disagrees with what I'm saying, I'm gonna shake my ass. That's not the answer to everything. This is not. And you
100%.
can't live your life like that. You have to utilize your platform for what you can. And somebody like Chadwick did exactly that. There was no blemishes, or there was no moments of, well, I'm going through this, so it doesn't. I don't care,
Yeah.
what anybody else is thinking.
And he could
Or
have done that.
he could have been like that,
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot. That's like a whole trend right now where people are like, whatever, get to the bag. I'm not a role model. Yes, you are.
Right.
Whether you choose to be or not
Come on.
that is not up to you, but you are someone that should be holding yourself to a higher standard, And I think that's something that is missing in today's role model as far as like celebrity goes. I think that, celebrities of yesteryear would have never, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you wouldn't, I mean, of course there wasn't social media and stuff either, but you wouldn't catch, Lena Horne doing anything that, she shouldn't be, or, the image definitely has a hold for sure. I think it has its place.
100%. And I feel like, people go that route and say, I'm not a role model. I don't want to be a role model, because I think there's a lot that comes along with that. They might feel pressure to be perfect, with being a role model. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's not even about being perfect. It's a lot of pressure to be perfect. But I feel like even during this time, I feel like the Lord has showed me, like, a lot of the times I feel like, I don't want to. Let me think about how to say this.
Take your time.
Right. But a lot of the times I feel like I don't want to go after something because I'm not perfect. And like, almost like, if I go after this platform, I want to show perfect person. But the thing is that there's a lot of pressure with that. And I'm not a perfect person. None of us are. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's not even about being perfect. It's about showing, boasting in your weakness, showing the areas that you're not perfect in. But look, I'm still going after it. And therefore, that's where my impact comes from, because, and I think there's power in that as well, because me showing you that I'm not perfect and I'm on a platform, like, I think that'll encourage so many other people in their daily lives that you don't have to be perfect. And even what I believe, like, as a believer, it's not about good or bad. It's just the fact that you're living in His light, like, and so if people do witness imperfect moments, or, oh, that's a little quirky, or that's this, that's that, that it will inspire somebody that I can be imperfect and still go after my God-given assignment.
I'm just saying. And then, speaking of God-given assignments, Versie, what are you gonna be shooting for musically? As you start to get back into like recording and putting together more content, putting out music videos, just all kinds of things, relating to you and music. How do you think that's gonna translate, or how do you think you're gonna roll into it coming out the gate or starting back up from here?
Yeah. I feel like I'm just going to operate from an honest place. And so that means, to me, that I'm going to create, you know, whatever I feel in that moment, and, you know, just do my best to work on projects, you know, as well. So I feel like, yeah, that's kind of like my direction going forward. It's just to keep on creating and create dope projects, you know, and put it out there. I really believe in creating my own seat at the table, you know, and I've been encouraged to do that because I feel like a lot of the times, you know, we're waiting for someone to give us an opportunity, or we're waiting for someone else to put us on. And it's like, nah, you can do your part right now. You can do everything that's in your heart
right
to
now.
do, right? Like right now. And yeah, and create your own seat at the table, and then like let the calls come in if that's if that's what's supposed to happen, you know.
Right.
But in the meantime, I'm gonna be working.
That's it. I think you summed it up beautifully there.
Well, thank you, TeaRon.
So, like, for people who would want to find your content or hear your voice, that beautiful singing voice you, that beautiful singing voice you have.
Yes.
Where can they find the music, or where would you prefer they find the music, I should say, and then you know, where can they find you?
100%. So please follow me on Instagram. That's Versie Jean _ That's going to be VERSIE, Jean like pants, underscore. Also, my music is on all digital platforms. I have 2 songs currently out, Hold Me Now and Best Friends. And I'm currently working on a new single called Heart. So please be on the lookout for that as well. And I really hope to connect with you, and please follow me on my journey, and let's journey together.
Before we go, because I'll tell you all where to find everything. But before we go, let's see here. Okay, so before we get out of here, I need to know, since you are musically inclined, Versie, I need to know who won the Verzuz, Brandy or Monica.
Oh gosh! Listen. This will start arguments. Okay. Right? I had wrote it on my I thought you were going to ask me something else, but I had wrote it on my Instagram, on my Facebook, who I thought had won, and everyone's like, you know, a couple of people's like, lies. It was this person. It was that person.
So who do you think won?
Let me just start off by saying, see how I'm dancing around the question. I'm gonna say they both are incredible artists. Okay,
absolutely.
They both are absolutely amazing. Brandy, I've been listening for like a month now to her B7 album. Absolutely amazing vocalist. Monica has hits for days, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, and same with Brandy. Like, they both have hits for days. But I think for this Verzuz battle, I'll have to go with Monica. Like, I would have to go with Monica. Because, again, like, I think I forgot, like, man, Monica got hits. Like, every song she was playing, I was like, you know, I'm literally standing up at the mirror singing along with the song. Like, it's amazing. So for this particular competition, I would say Monica, but I have respect for both of the artists. I think they both are incredible.
Because this was the one thing, like, Verzuz is all opinionated. It's never really facts, or you know, things like that. But it's one of those things where it's like, this was the closest to a draw that you were gonna get, right? Because every other one, you know, people had like their clear favorites for the most part. But this one, like, I think because they could never live down that Boy Is Mine shit that was created, right?
Right.
So this was like so much, like, it was basically in the making for what, over 20 years at this point.
Yes.
So it's like, it had it had to come. What's the word I'm looking for? Accumulate. You know what I'm talking about. It
Right.
had to come together.
Right.
At some point.
Amen.
But I mean, I really enjoyed it. I feel the same way. I think that if it comes down, because I don't know how exactly Versus works, but if it comes down to song choices that they were choosing, I think that Monica won as well.
She killed it.
But people gonna say what they feel, or they're gonna be biased or whichever. I think that when you look at the careers of each of them, because like you said, they're both incredible artists. When we look at the careers of each of them, Brandy more so had like stop and go moments in terms of music, because she was always doing other stuff. She was, in shows and film, and she was presented to us in several ways, whereas Monica has always really been just music, period.
But
I think in terms of music career, Monica has had more of a consistent career, or more time to give us consistent hits. Whereas Brandy, most of Brandy's solid hits, no shade, were, earlier in her career. I think that that's where the standout is. But that's just because she was doing other things. You know what I mean?
Right. No, 100%. That's like a super interesting perspective. And I feel like one thing I do really love about Brandy and other artists, Macy Gray, Jamie Foxx, is that I really appreciate that they are the triple effect. Like, I love that they're not just going for music, that they have, that they're going for acting, and they're just expanding themselves in all like creative outlets. Mary J. Blige, she was just in Umbrella Academy, the TV show. And I really appreciate that because they're just all around artists. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in there because like that's the type of artist I want to be. I want to be able to do everything, do music, do film, whether that's acting or working behind the scenes. Like I want to be a versatile artist, and I really appreciate that. Versatile. You better put that together. I might have to write that down, TeaRon.
Put it on the board.
But for real though, and that's what I appreciate about Brandy, is that she is that lady, but that artist.
What's your dream versus, whether it's someone that's posthumous or current? What would be a dream versus? Because I think that there's like a tier of people that can't even do a versus because they're in a lane of their own. And I'll tell you who those people are that people keep trying to find other people to put up against. Number one, well, in no particular order, I'm sorry, but people that can't do verses because they're gonna
smash,
cancel each other out. You just can't.
Finish him.
So there's so like Janet Jackson, she can't do a versus. Who is going to match that? Nobody. Michael, you can't do him either. So Mariah, you can't do that. You can't put her. Mary J. Blige, you can't find. Mary J. Blige's hits are so rooted in emotion that whoever you put her next to, she gonna scalp.
Right.
And then people like Aretha and Whitney, certain people you just can't put their music in a versus category because they're in these tiers of their own where they carved out a space. You can't. Oh, and Beyonce, I won't leave her out because I don't want people to get me.
So right.
There's certain people that just can't, unless you put them all against each other, but you can't.
I almost feel like Beyonce is too, like almost like, not too big, but she is too big to do a versus.
Exactly.
I hope that doesn't sound like bad, but it would be dope to see her, to see her do that. But like you said, she's kind of like in a lane of her own.
I'm just saying.
Period. And I love Beyonce, like just her stage presence, just all around artistic abilities. Like she's just fire. But who would be my dream People that I would like to see, man, that's a really difficult one.
You could only pick two.
If I could only pick two, man.
And they don't have to be around today. It can be posthumous.
Well, I'll say one that I just saw someone recommend. Fantasia and Jennifer Hudson.
Fantasia got that every day.
Okay.
Here's the issue, because you know they have the what do you have to have, like 20 tracks to throw,
right?
Or, yeah. If they have to change that, because if they change that, if they go down to just at least 10, we're gonna have way better verses than now, because everybody ain't got 20 tracks to throw. And I don't know if Jennifer Hudson has 20 tracks to throw.
Well, it's, man, okay, I can see where you're coming from with that. I don't know. Yeah, like I can definitely see that for sure. But I think it would be like a great, just a dope battle just to see both of them. Like they're both powerhouses. So it'd be so cool to like see them singing their songs. Or
I wish they would sing on the Verzuz, by the way.
Right? Like
I wish 100%. It was performances. I keep telling people, I keep reminding people, look at us, we just talking our shit. But I keep reminding people that there used to be these segments that AOL used to put out, and it was called AOL Black Voices. And AOL, they used to have these performances where they would call Bridging the Gap, and they would have artists of the past come on with artists of current time, and they would sing songs together, like live. So they would sing each other's songs, but also they would they would sing their own stuff too. So you would get really dope performances, and you would get to see, the merger of the sound of someone yesteryear and now. Like, I think one of my favorite ones that was like, was Shaka Khan and Lettucey, right? And they got to perform together, and it was like, this is so amazing. Like, and I thought that concept was so dope. And I wish Verzuz was similar to that, in terms of like, I wish that you could get to see, artists perform each other's stuff, but also kind of come together and share their, that kind of thing. Because how cool will it be to see like your, two of your favorite artists, but they kind of sharing each other's song, and it's like you would never see that anywhere else. I don't know. It's just something. Maybe it's just my dream.
No, I think that'd be so.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It'd be so cool. Like, I would be here for it 100%. And as you were saying that, I was just thinking of another group that I think would be dope to do Verzuz, which would be, Jamie Foxx and T-Pain.
That would be fun. Number one, that would be so entertaining.
Right? It really would.
That would be so entertaining. I'm just saying. I just think, I don't know. The 20 hits, that ain't gonna be for everybody. They need to loosen that up, because if they do it for the culture for real, like if they do it for us for real, they're gonna loosen all that stuff up, and they're gonna give us that Kaya and Trina verses like we need.
Come on. Okay.
And you say what you will, I think that would do better numbers than any of the other ones, because
Come on. Trina,
do it one time for the hood. That's all I'm saying. We don't, because sometimes there's hits that are hits for us that are not commercial hits. And that's okay. And I think we need to, with a platform like Verzuz, they need to acknowledge that not everything is gonna be on a damn Billboard ass list.
Right.
That's not it. Sometimes there's those hits that, like, for example, like the OJs, they don't have no Grammys, but the OJs got hits. Do you hear me?
Right.
Like, come on, they gotta rework that.
What's up with that though?
Timberland. Who else? Swiss Beats. Y'all gotta switch that up. I don't care. That 20 hit shit, that 20 commercial hit shit, that ain't cool.
Right.
And then, and another collective of artists that can't do verses. And I don't think people think of them in this way because they've done a lot of pop shit. But another group that can't be touched or can't be put up next to anyone is the Black Eyed Peas. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it alone.
I would love to see them in concert. But if they were to be paired with someone, I would say Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars and the Black Eyed Peas.
Well, you know who's gonna win though?
Who?
The Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, I don't know because Bruno got some hits. But
here's what I challenge you to do. You remember the Black Eyed Peas? They did the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. And
they did a medley of all the hits. Go back and watch that, and you're gonna be like, "Well, damn, they got hits." Because
right, yeah, 100%.
It comes back to you once you see it like collectively ran out, and you like, "Oh snap!" I remember that, and they got some hits like out the park.
Yeah, I love the Black Eyed Peas. So one of my favorite songs from them is I Got a Feeling, that one.
That's it.
That one's one of my favorite Black Eyed Peas songs. So yeah, like they're definitely dope. I think overall this Verzuz, battle is such a great idea, and it's just keeping us all like just entertained.
Exactly, because we need every little ounce we can get right now.
Right. 100%.
I'm just saying. But look, I could just go talk about stuff like that all day long, but let's not do that. Because you already told people where to find you and stuff. They probably forgot by now if they still hanging with us. So as a reminder, you can find our guest here today, Versie Jean, at Versie. That's VERSIE Jean _ yeah.
Yes, that's it.
On Instagram. And also you can check out our music on all of those platforms where you listen to music. And of course you can keep up with myself. That's TeaRon at TeaRon World, TeaRon World, on all social media. But also you can follow the podcast at Ubiquitous Blacks. And also if you want to, which I encourage you to go in, leave us a review. Now here's the thing. When you go in to leave a review, let's say you go to Apple. You click on there, it asks you to leave a review. You want to click 5 stars, okay? Now, anything beyond 5 stars, you keep it to yourself. We don't need it. That's all I'm saying. And then if you leave an interesting comment, that will read it on the program. And then also, if you want to send us any questions or you have ideas for topics or you want to be a guest, if you think you're an interesting individual, this is not just for artists or musicians or whichever. If you're a Black business owner or you're just Black and you're doing dope shit, or you're Black and you could tell a good story, and then I can sit here and listen and not have to talk, send us an email, ubiquitousblacks@gmail.com, and you can find us there as well. Versie, I've enjoyed having you today.
Thank you so much.
And I feel like we could just talk and talk and talk.
Right? Look, you should see me right now. If the video was on, I got my I'm just like laid back chilling, okay?
You know what I mean? It's some people you talk to and it's just like, what's up? You just kind of roll right into it, Yes. But in the meantime, in between time, all right. So whether you are Black in Houston, Texas,
or Portland, Oregon,
guess what? We're black everywhere. Everywhere.
We gotta do that again.
You want to do it again? Let's do it again. Run it.
Okay.
Right. So whether you're Black in Houston, Texas,
or Portland, Oregon,
remember,
we're Black. No. Okay. Well, so you're gonna say remember first, and then we go. And then we're boom. Black everywhere. Okay, got it. 10-3.
I almost want to leave all the takes in. That's hilarious. Okay, here we go. All right. So whether you're Black in Houston, Texas,
or Portland, Oregon.
Remember,
We're
we
black.
are black.
Oh gosh,
everywhere.
I thought it was weird. We are. Okay, so you're gonna say remember, and then after remember, we're gonna say we are black everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. We already passed the third time. I can't even say third time's the charm. Okay. Or maybe this is the third time. Okay.
This is the fourth.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Here we go. All right, here we go. All right.
I cannot.
All right. So whether you're black in Houston, Texas,
or Portland, Oregon,
remember, we are black. It is what it is.
Let's just pack it up. I think the first time was the best. I cannot. TeaRon, that was about to be like, we are black.
I think the first one was the one too.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be in sync, but it was the one that was the most clear.
Yeah, I think so too. So we just do it. We just do it. I can't.
All
but
right.
For real, thank you so much for having me on. I had such a great time today.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. And until then, I've been TeaRon, and I'm